Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you an easy way to create realistic rumballs in Blender, so let's get started. First hit Shift A and add an icosphere. Go to the subdivisions and set them to 3. Now press Ctrl 3 and shade smooth. Add another icosphere and set the subdivisions to 2. Now move it down, like this. Go to the modifiers and add a displacement modifier. Click on New and click on this button here and set it to Clouds. Now press Ctrl 1 and shade smooth. Go back to the modifiers and set the coordinates to global. Now if we move the icosphere, it's going to move the displacement. Now duplicate it a few times. I'm going to duplicate it 6 times. Let's give all of them a random scale on the x-axis. Now it should look something like this. Now let's select all of them and go into edit mode and type in Randomize and select this. And let's change the amount to something like 0.46. Go back to object mode and press M, new collection, and press OK. Select this icosphere again and go to the particle properties. Click on new and set it to here. Set the number to 1500 and check advanced. Go to render and select collection and select collection 2. Set the scale to 0.01 and the scale randomness to 0.75. Enable rotation, set this to normal and this to 0.1. Set the randomize phase to 2. Let's save now and go to shading. Go to rendered view. And in the world properties, I'm going to choose sky texture. Set the sun elevation to 5 and the sun rotation to 45. With this icosphere selected, click on new and let's make this a dark red color, like this. I ended up using this hex code. Add a noise texture. Plug the factor into the roughness and into the normal. With the noise texture selected, press Ctrl T and use the object output. Add a bump node. Put it here and let's use the height. What I'm going to do next is to add a displacement node and enable displacement in the material properties. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, I just think it looks better. The only downside to this is that it will use more VRAM, which is your GPU's memory, and it will increase the rendering time slightly. Of course, this all depends on how high or low you set the values. In the material properties, type in displacement and go here. Go to displacement and select displacement and bump. Now connect the factor of the noise texture to the displacement and add a displacement texture. Put it here. Set the height to 0.53 and make sure the mid-level is set to 0.5. Let's save again and go back to layout mode. Let's duplicate this and press G and X 2.02. Now select both of them and press Shift D again and press G and X 4.04. Select all of them again and press Shift D, G, Y 2.02. With all of them selected, press Shift D again and G, Y 4.04. In top view, select 3 of them, press Shift D and G, Y minus 1.01. Now press G, Z 1.01 to move them up. Press G, X minus 1.01. Duplicate them again, G, X minus 2.02. And let's do it again, G, X minus 2.02. I'm going to skip the process of duplicating the ones on the top. To create the plate, let's select all of these and now hit Shift S, cursor to selected. Now hit Shift A and add a circle. Go into front view and move it down to somewhere around here, like this. Now let's scale it up. Go into edit mode, press A and F. Now press E and right click, press S, Shift Z, and now press G, Z to move it up slightly, like this. Press I to insert the face, like this, and press G and Z to move it down. Make sure it doesn't intersect with the bottom. The distance should be something like this. Now press A and G, Z, move it down like this. Here let's press Ctrl R and 3, enter, and right click, and do the same on the bottom. And enter, right click, Alt select this edge, go to proportional editing and press G and Z and roll your mouse wheel to scale this up like this. Go back into object mode and press Ctrl 3. Hit Shift A again and add a plane, go into front view and move it down like this and scale it by 30. This is going to be our table. Go to shading, click on new, click on new. I'm going to use an image texture for this. You can download that image texture for free through the link in the description. Once you've downloaded it, select the principled BSDF and press Ctrl Shift T. Find the folder where you saved it and go to textures, press A and enter. Now let's press Ctrl A here and apply the scale. One thing that I forgot to do here is to set the subsurface to 0.03. Select the plate, click on new, and select the principled BSDF and press Ctrl T. Delete the image texture and use the object output. Connect the vector to the base color, add a noise texture, put it here. Set the scale to 1000. Now add a hue saturation node, put it here. Set the saturation to 0. Here set the clear code to 0.63. Let's also bring down the roughness to 0.06. Now let's select all of these icospheres down here and create a new material. Press Ctrl L with all of them selected and link materials. Set the subsurface to 0.1, add a noise texture, and let's plug the factor into the roughness and into the normal. Set the scale to 10 and add a bump node. Set the strength to 0.25 and let's use the height here. Go back to layout mode and select the plate. Press delete on the numpad and 1. Now press 6 on the numpad 2 times and 8 2 times. Hit Shift A and add a camera. Ctrl Alt 0 to go into camera view and press G. These are the exact coordinates for my camera. Add an empty plane axis. Go up here and select face project. And now if we press G and Ctrl, it will snap to the faces. The empty is going to be our focus object for the camera. Go up here and enable depth of field. Select the camera and go to the object arrow properties, enable depth of field and select the empty. I'm going to set the f-stop to 0.1 and the blades to 16. Go to the render properties. I'm going to set the max samples to 768. I'm also going to use denoise. I recommend that you use optics if you can. Now under color management, set the view transform to filmic and the look to very high contrast. Now let's drag this down and select all of these icospheres here. Select this one first and shift select the last one now. It seems I missed one, so just shift select it. Now press F3 and type in random and select randomize transform. Now select all of the rotations here and set them to 360. Now go to Compositing, enable use nodes, add a denoise node set to accurate and here enable denoising data. Then just connect it like you see here. Now go to the output properties, Select a resolution that you want. You can also do that here. Now choose the file format that you want. I'm going to use JPEG and set the quality to 100%. Now let's save again and press F12 to render the image. So that's it for the tutorial. I hope you liked it. Please let me know what you should do next, and I'll see you next time.